Good morning, everyone. This is the regular meeting.
Hold on, Dan. Give it just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Talbot County Board of Tax Assessors, a regular November meeting. Let's say I'll call the meeting to order, and looks like it's 10:03. Let's see. The first thing on our agenda is to approve the agenda and any additions. Does everyone had a chance to review the agenda as presented?
Yes, good.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda as printed.
I second that motion.
All right, thanks. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thanks. All right, motion passes. Moving on to old business. Let's see, we've got this first item is a sales ratio study. Lauren, do you have an update this month?
Not yet, no, sir.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'll have an update for that item on in January.
For next time.
January.
Oh, January. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any? Well, I guess there's no question since there's no update. We'll move on. Let's see, we've got approved minutes from our October meeting. Did everyone have a chance to review those minutes?
Yes, they're good.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. All right, motion's passed and we approve the minutes.
And I just want to check, can y'all see where I'm scrolling through the minutes here? Can y'all see that on your screen?
I can,
Yeah.
right now. That's
Yes.
helpful, right? I see
Okay.
both. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that works well. Okay, let's see. Then moving on, the next update is the status of the personal property audit. Lauren, you want to give us an update?
Yes, sir. And I'm going to have to rotate this page. So I'm going to have to move it to the other screen to get it to rotate. So, okay. As you can see here, for October, we had 27 deletes. There were 8 completed audits, 7 businesses and 1 marine. 26 business deletes and 1 airplane delete. That's the summary. And we also conducted some field audits in October for several companies. I don't believe we have the results for those yet, but they are in progress and the field audits were completed on those. And so if you don't have any questions about the summary, I'll move forward. Or that's the status update. Then we need to move to the audit reports.
And I see, looks like overall it's showing 74%.
Yes, sir.
And so you still comfortable that's on track to finish?
Yes, sir.
This year?
I think they're projecting that we will be finished by the end of the year, but they're actually this projection's I think showing completion in January. But our contract actually runs through the fiscal year. So.
Oh, so it runs through June instead of.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So maybe when we were talking about this year, we meant this fiscal year. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Does anyone have any questions on the overall high level view there? Okay. Do you have some audit reports then to share with us today?
I do. Yes, sir.
Results. Okay.
The first one's for Buckner Logging. You see the summary here for 2017 and 2018. There was just a little bit of a variance on inventory and MEFF for both years. The total variance down here at the bottom. Once these are approved, we'll send these assessment notices. If y'all don't have any questions about that one, I'll move forward to So, and I've included the assessment notices that are going out here so y'all can see that it was, that's the total there. Okay.
Okay, why don't you just keep, and we'll stop you if we have a question. You can just keep running through them.
Okay, so this next one is for Arrowhead Landscapes. It looks like there was, the variance is negative here on all 3 years. And so they were below the $7,500 threshold in 17 and 18, so they did not pay any taxes. But in 2019, they moved above that threshold. And this amount was assessed, but it turned out that they did not have the equipment, and so there was a negative variance, and they will be getting a refund.
Explain this threshold thing again.
Anything, there's $7,500. If you own less than $7,500, you don't pay taxes on it. When you are above that amount, when you have 7,501, you pay taxes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so they'll be getting that, the estimate on their refunds $101. Okay, the next one is Dollar General. And I would actually have to pull it to see which Dollar General this is, whether it's the one in Talbotton or Box Springs. If y'all are interested, I'll look. But they had a variance in each year and a value subject to penalty in each year. And so you can see across the bottom the summary there. It's going to amount to approximately $449 for that 1 year, and then about $60 for the other 2 years. Next is Ehrenheim Contracting. There was a variance for 2017, but they fell below that $7,500 threshold. 2018, there were variances. They were above the threshold, so there will be an assessment notice for 17, same for, there will be one for 18, same for 2019.
I've lost the video.
You can't see the screen share?
No, it's gone blank.
Sandra, Dan, can y'all see it?
I can see
Yeah,
it.
mine's fine. Mhm.
Well, I've got the printed version, so
Okay, well, we're on the Ehrenheim Contracting.
yeah, I
Right.
see it. I
Okay,
see it.
I'll move to the next one.
We can still hear you fine, Omar.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Junction City Mining. This was one of the field audits that was conducted. Y'all can see there.
I see, of course, they have lots of equipment, but I see there was a big difference there, looks like.
Yes, sir.
That helps, I guess, helps to sort of an example of the value of this exercise and audit we're doing.
Yes, sir. And so the first year, 2016, will amount to right at $11,000. 17, 7,000, 18, 14.5 thousand.
The others we were doing 17, 18, 19, and on this is 16, 17, 18. Why?
It's just like they were when we started the process, you audit for 3 years previous, and we mailed out audit letters in batches. And this company was in the first batch, but it's just now site visit and everything. They provided all the documentation, and so their audit was for these 3 years.
Okay.
So this one's y'all been working on it quite a while then. It's
Yes,
just
sir.
a voluminous,
Right.
voluminous documentation to go through, and just took a while to get to the get the audit completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so that is all of the audit reports. I just need a motion to approve these values so that we can send the assessment notices.
I move that we approve the values on these notices and that we send them as needed.
Second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve sending the notice of assessment on these audits that have been completed. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. Okay, thanks, Lauren.
Okay, so
Moving on to new business, looks like your first item is your budget report.
yes, sir, we got this through August of 2020. Y'all give me just a minute to rotate this for Dan.
So that's just the first 2 months of the fiscal year.
Yes, sir.
So we should still be in good shape and on track.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Anything you want to highlight or you want to move on?
No, I don't have anything to highlight. We're good.
Okay, anybody have any questions about what
Oh,
I'm
I do have one thing to say. All of the extra things for COVID, that were purchased for COVID, I did speak to Carol about that, and they have received some grant money back. It will not be credited to the individual budgets. It will go into the general fund.
I see. So y'all have like a special charge code to segregate those expenses then?
Well, what she's told us is that it'll go into the general fund and then the county commissioners will amend budgets as necessary to cover those expenses.
Okay, all right, thanks. Does anyone, I take note, there's no action on this item, is it, unless there's any questions about?
No, sir.
If there are no questions, we'll just move on to the next item is current appeals report and status update.
Yes, sir. The appeals have been forwarded to the Board of Equalization. And I know that last time we met, there were these 4 appeals listed here, plus the Weyerhaeuser appeals. The Weyerhaeuser appeals were all settled. You'll see later in the meeting that we have about 5 parcels that will be presented for Forest Land Protection Act, the 5 parcels that qualified. I was also able to make some adjustments very minor adjustments on a few of the parcels that adjoined other parcels that they had. And then there were 2 that we didn't make any changes on at all, and they have waived their appeal based on those changes and considering the approval of the Forest Land Protection Act applications today.
Okay, and if I recall right, I think during the appeal period, just like a property owner can apply for the CUVA, they can apply for forest land protection if they qualify.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So in other words, everything you've done sounds like it's in accordance with the law and the appraisal procedures manual. And so you'll be on later in today's meeting, you'll have some recommendations for our approval.
Yes, sir.
That are closed. So now how many are still active?
4.
4 still, okay, so there's 4. And how many are those 4 different property owners or?
They are.
Okay. And are you still holding them, waiting on, I think the clerk had said that due to the COVID situation and they had been closed or
No, as you can see here, they have been certified to the clerk, and Penny has signed and they were filed there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they've been sent over. Okay, just
Yes,
during
sir.
the last few days. Okay.
Appeal hearings are scheduled, I want to say for November the 18th with an alternate day of the 19th, but they have not told us how we will be handling those appeals, whether they'll be in person or whatnot. So I'm waiting for further information on that, but they have been certified to the Board of Equalization.
Okay, okay. Any questions for Lauren about just the overall status?
No.
Okay, if not, we'll move on. The next item is the did that finish your report, Lauren?
Yes,
Or
sir.
did I didn't interrupt you? Okay, then moving on, the homestead, Social Security maximum memo. Lauren, you were gonna share the letter from the Department of
Yes,
Revenue.
sir. And just as the Social Security changes every year, this maximum amount for Social Security changes for the homestead exemption. We do need to approve this number because it is entered into our schedule. So we will need to make a motion.
Okay, why don't you briefly explain this? I know we do this once a year, and just to refresh all of us, I think of course, though that, why don't you just briefly explain? In other words, I think this 10,000 is what earned income,
Yes, sir.
and then the 75, that's a combination of all Social Security pensions. Is that 401k? I mean, is that all
No,
retirement
this
income?
is just Social Security. The Social Security maximum amount.
Oh, I see.
75,552.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it says does not include income retirement. Okay, I was reading it wrong.
That's for a household or
That
individual?
is for your primary residence once you reach age 62 and 65. There are two different levels of that homestead.
Okay.
What? Let's see. I just see one number there. What's the other level?
In paragraph 2, it says, as you know, the exemptions provided for, and then like once you reach the age 62, the Social Security maximum stays the same, but you don't receive as much of an exemption. So there are two tiers to that homestead.
Oh, two tiers to the benefit. Okay, but the totals there are the same. Okay.
Yes, sir. So basically our motion just needs to reflect this paragraph here.
Okay, and then following up on Almost question there, then the 75, that would be like, would that be the combination of a couple, but
Yes.
like joint owner? Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense then, because I thought, well, that number looked mighty high.
Mm-hmm.
But then that makes sense then. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for helping refresh us on that. I guess we need to make a motion, and then we can have any discussion or whatever. Let's see. Do we have a motion to approve the 2021 Social Security maximum is received from the Department of Revenue? And
I move that we approve the Social Security maximum for homestead exemptions as presented by the Department of Revenue.
I second the motion.
okay. Is there any discussion? Any further questions for Lorna? When was Ellen Mills? I know she's retiring. Was was it the end of October? Was this her last? I see Friday the 30th. I wonder if this was her last item of business.
Let me look. I'd have to look back because I can't remember, to tell you the truth.
I saw they named her replacement. I guess they sort of probably have a little overlap or whatever. So, okay. But if there's no further discussion, we've got a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thanks. The motion passes. And let's see, then the next one is the item is on our agenda is error and release approvals.
Yes, sir. And her memo did say end of the month for October.
Okay. So I guess maybe she was cleaning that off her plate and getting that done and checked off, and then after door she went. Okay, thanks. All right. Let's see, you got the errors and releases.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to present your
The first
recommendation?
one is for Mr. and Ms. Minor. They applied for conservation during the appeal period. And so that ACO was to add conservation to their property. The next two were, deletes onto personal property accounts.
Okay, so
Well,
they
it's the
were
same
outcomes of
account
our
for different
audits.
years.
They were outcomes of the personal property audit by our
Yes, sir.
consultants. Okay. Okay. Let's see, you need a motion for us to approve the error and releases as presented.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I move that we approve the error.
Second. I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the error and releases as presented. Is there any further discussion or questions for Lauren? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes. Okay, thanks, Lauren. Then we've got the homestead applications for next year, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Looks like you've got two.
Yes, sir. An S5 for Thomas Ritzmeyer, and then an S4 for Deborah Johnson.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the homestead applications for 2021 as presented?
Exemption?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the homestead exemption applications. If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think Mr. McCants may be having some,
Yeah, I can't hear him on this one. I could hear him before, but I'm not hearing, but he kept going in and out.
Okay, can you not hear me now?
we can now, you came back.
Okay, I'll just get a little closer to the computer. I hear you loud and clear, all of
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you fine now. Okay.
Okay,
All right. So I believe it was, vote was 2-0. Is that correct? So motion passed.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, let's see, then we got the conservation use applications. Do we have any this month?
We do not, and we are awaiting payment to release the breach that we voted on last month, and that has not yet been received. And so that will be on the agenda for December, assuming that they have paid.
Okay, so then you move on to forest land
Yes,
flip
sir.
applications. So you got some, looks like you've got the 3 flipping. I believe those are the ones we discussed earlier that when we were talking about the appeals, these are the ones associated with those appeals.
They are, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you want to
Involves
discuss your
5 different parcels on 3 applications.
Okay. Anything else you want to add on these 3?
No, sir. We have made the appropriate field visits, and I'm recommending them for approval.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the flip applications as presented?
I move that we approve the flipper exemption applications as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thanks. Motion passes. Do we have any releases this month?
No, sir.
Okay, no. I see you've got breach. Is there any breaches?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, well, let's see, we're moving right along then. Let's see, next is member matters.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, and if I believe you all are in training next week, is that right?
We will be. All
Okay.
Dan, but you don't have training, obviously, but Miss Sandra does, Mr. Omar does, myself and Quentin all will be in the same class next week.
Well, and in that class, you had me on the wait list. I did get an email, that I got in. So I'm in class the following week, a 20-hour class. I think it's like 3 days, Wednesday to Friday. Is that like the 18th to the 20th, I
Yes,
believe?
sir, and they send those links out like just a couple of days before. So as soon as I receive your link for your training class, I will forward it.
And I assume it'll be like a web conference like we're doing right now.
BOA Meeting is the program that they use if you're familiar with it.
Mhm. Okay.
Janet took that 2 classes last week, and she said that it worked very well.
Okay. And I guess the main thing is having a good internet connection. Okay, all right. And then I appreciate you printing that course material for me.
Yes, sir.
Omar, did you have anything you want to share with us today, bring up, or?
I do not.
Okay, Sandra, did you have anything?
No, nothing else.
Okay, let's see. Then moving on, Lauren, you got the chief appraiser update.
We
Update us
have
on what's
just
going
been working through the mobile home to prepare the pre-bill mobile home digest for submittal. That's been our main priority currently, and I have been also working on the appeals to get ready for those hearings mid-November. Otherwise, everything's been fine. Do y'all have any questions or about anything in particular?
I'm just curious to know.
I'm sorry.
Just curious to know about how many mobile homes there are in the county.
Well, we have 2 different types of mobile homes. Okay, hold on just a second. He's here to pay.
Okay.
Okay. Just let me know as soon as this payment's processed.
She got it. She processing it now.
Okay, we're gonna probably go back and revisit F because they're here making the payment on that release. But let me answer Mr. McCants' question. Mr. McCants, there are 2 different types of mobile homes. We've got the pre-bill mobile homes. Those are the mobile homes that they own the mobile home, but they do not own the property on which that mobile home is sitting. And so those are billed separately than the real property bills. Those bills go out at the beginning of the year, every year. And so we usually have between 200 and 300 pre-bill mobile homes. And then the other mobile homes are valued just like houses on the real property. And I'm gonna say we have around 1,000 real property mobile homes. I can come back with an accurate count for you at the next meeting.
Oh, that's okay. I was just curious. That's close enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dan, you were about to say something also?
I was just going on the COVID situation. I see the numbers in our local area still increasing on the local news. I know last month there'd been a case there at the office, and y'all had some of y'all had quarantined and the office was shut, but y'all are now back open, and everybody's getting along fine and doing well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're just still, we've got some sanitation procedures in place, and we are doing that daily and wearing our masks when we're not in our office, and we're just doing the best we can, just like everybody else, I guess. We're continuing to use the drive-through service.
Okay, all right, well, sound like y'all are troopers and chugging along.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Then you want to move back, so you've got a,
Move
action
back to
on-
F, please.
okay, now that's on the CUVA back where we had
Yes, sir.
use, a release from one we discussed last month.
Right, on the McCall property, we had approved a breach on that property. And, but prior to the board approving the release of the covenant, the tax payment must be made. And so they actually just submitted payment on that breach. And so it is ready for approval for the release.
Okay, remind us quickly what the, was that a voluntary,
It was a voluntary breach. They were just asking for it to be removed from the covenant.
okay, so they wrote you a letter and requested,
Yes, sir, that's
Okay.
correct.
okay,
So- Those are people that were selling the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
okay. And then they're paying the penalty, is that right?
Yes, they have paid the penalty.
And so now, let's see, we're approving the release, is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
So you need a motion to approve the release for the McCall property.
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve the release for the McCall property from the cover exemption.
I second.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, it passes. Let's see, any other announcements?
No, sir.
Okay, let's see, then you want to look at the tentative meeting date for next month.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Maybe Wednesday, the 9th of December, what does that look like?
The 9th of December. I can do that, yes. If it works for everybody else, that will be good for me.
I see, then, have you got some, vacation time planned, or you and your staff, or
I do, yes,
around
sir.
the holidays? I know normally y'all.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, is everyone available on that morning of the 9th at 10 o'clock?
I am.
Okay, why don't we put that,
Oh, before you do, I may have a commitment on that day. Is it possible we could move it to Thursday?
let's see. Yeah, that'd be fine. You want to do it the 10th?
Yes.
Sandra, does the 10th work for you also?
Sure.
Okay, we'll plan the 10th at 10 a.m.
Sounds good to
And that'll
me.
probably be our last meeting for the year unless something comes up that we have to have a call meeting. And then just as we approach the year end, our January meeting is when we elect the officers and the board secretary. And then we have to act on the mobile home. And there's, by the code section, I think there's like, is it 5 days? I mean, seems like we have to send something to Mr. Huff, the tax commissioner, right there at the start of the year. We normally meet.
On or before January 5th.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and talk about that meeting then? I see January 1st is a Friday, and then the 5th is a Tuesday. do we want to go ahead and maybe plan a meeting that Tuesday morning, that 5th? And sort of, I was just thinking as we all plan our, if we plan travel to visit family and all around the holidays, if we get our meeting on the calendar, we can all plan around it.
I mean, I don't have any conflict on the 4th or the 5th, either one.
I don't either.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right, why don't we plan on Tuesday, the 5th at 10 a.m. then?
Okay.
And then if you do something does come up, let me know as quickly as you can, because we may have to hold the 4th as a date as the alternate. But I know some of us may be traveling around that holiday weekend.
And as I said, it's on or before, and we have been working on that pre-bill digest. So it's possible that we may have it ready in December. I mean, I know we still have to elect officers pretty quickly and everything, but,
Okay. Well, and I knew sometime, I guess I know with us meeting earlier in December, I knew that might be pushing you. And let's see, just as we're talking about year-end activities, seem like the other thing that you do in December is you pull the boat list from DNR.
remember we talked about that the last meeting. That's been accomplished.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. We approved you. Y'all went ahead and working on that. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I tell you, we'll put down. Let's see. We've got the next two meetings tentatively set up. The December meeting Thursday, December the 10th at 10 a.m. And then our first meeting of the new year, Tuesday, January 5th at 10 a.m. And I guess right now it looks like we're going to be doing these web conferences for the foreseeable future, as conditions don't seem to be changing. Okay. But it seems like we're getting the hang of it, and they're going pretty smoothly. So
Yes, sir.
and it's going to be a new experience. We all go through training remotely next couple of weeks. We'll see how that experience goes. Is anything else anyone has today?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's about 10:41. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn at this time.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Say
Aye.
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 Okay. All right. I declare us adjourned